Let us talk about another disease, that is pneumonia. Pneumonia, it is one of the problem that is caused by many pathogens. I think I have not talked about pathogen in my earlier video, so let us talk about pathogen first and then we'll talk about pneumonia, right? So what is pathogen? I think I said that in the first video that we are covering the basics, and I said that I'll make one more video for other basics, but I have not covered that. So these topics will cover in between other videos. So let us say pathogen. So any disease causing organism. Any disease causing organism is called as pathogen, right? So now a pathogen could be a bacteria, and bacterial disease we are discussing right now. Of course, a pathogen can be a virus, a pathogen can be a fungus or fungi, a pathogen could be a protozoan, or a pathogen could be a helminth. There is one more question usually student asks, that are pathogen or is pathogen and allergen are the same? So answer is no. Allergen and pathogen are not same basically, or they have different effects. That is depends on the persons, their genetic constitution. So pathogen exert a equal effect in all the people of a population, but allergen exhibit some different kind of effect. So we'll talk about allergen during allergy in detail. At that time I'll compare the pathogen and allergen again. So let us now talk about pneumonia. I'm sure you have heard about pneumonia, as it is one of the common diseases, and in children as well. So let us talk about pneumonia. Let us first talk about the causative agent, that what are the causative agent of pneumonia. Pneumonia, as I told you, that it can be because of bacteria, it can be because of viruses, it can be because of fungi as well. We'll understand the pathophysiology. Once we are clear with the pathophysiology, it is easy for you to understand that what is the actual problem in pneumonia. So the causative agent may be a bacteria. So what are the bacteria which are responsible? So we have Diplococcus pneumoniae. We are having Streptococcus pneumoniae. We are having Haemophilus influenzae. We are having fungi that also causes this problem, that is pneumonia. There are viruses as well. One such virus is COVID, corona induced, basically, it's the full form of COVID is coronavirus induced disease. The full form of COVID is coronavirus induced disease. So that is because of viruses as well. There are other viruses also that causes the disease. Mycoplasma, it is wall-less bacteria. Mycoplasma. So these are some of the common causative agent of pneumonia. Let us now talk about how the disease is spread. So what is the mode of transmission? Let us now talk about it. So what is the mode of transmission? Epidemiology. If I talk about mode of transmission, then pneumonia is spread through droplet infection. Let's say if I'm suffering from pneumonia, I'm talking with you without any precaution, without any mask. So the droplet which I'm passing, of course, during talking, if you inhale them or if you take them, then there are chances that you can also get the pneumonia. And now make sure that to have the problem or to have the causative agent is a different thing, and to show the symptom of a disease is different thing. Basically, it is depend on the immune system of that person, about the symptoms. So we'll talk about all these things, that what I'm trying to say actually right now, but it would be more clear when we discuss the immunology section. So at that time it would be more clear. So what is the epidemiology? Epidemiology is that droplet infection. Now let us talk about symptoms. But before I'll talk about the symptoms, let me just discuss a basic diagram with you and let's try to understand the problem with the help of that diagram. Let us try to make the alveoli. Let us say it is an alveoli, right? What is the function of alveoli? Alveoli function is that they help in gaseous exchange, right? So they help in gaseous exchange. So we are having, let's say, cells. These cells are actually called as pneumocytes. There are different type of pneumocytes, pneumocyte type 1, pneumocyte type 2. They have different receptor on them, but of course we are not talking about that clinical discussion. So that's why I'm talking a very simple thing here. So these basically are called as pneumocytes. So right now, for understanding for us, I'm just saying that they are simple squamous epithelial. It is a simple squamous epithelial tissue. This is alveoli. Now, let us consider a blood vessel. Let us say, okay, let me erase it. Let me make a beautiful blood vessel for you. Now it is not visible. Okay, yeah, it is. Okay. Let us try to draw a blood vessel also. Okay. That is a blood vessel. Fine. In normal situation, we know that what exactly comes here. So basically, let me talk about some pressures. We know oxygen, we inhale the oxygen. So here there is some partial pressure of oxygen. Let us talk about it. Let us talk about that. It is 10, PO2 is 104 millimeters of mercury, we know. Or pressures are not important right now. We need to understand that oxygen is there. This blood, it is actually deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. Why this is a deoxygenated blood? Because this blood is, basically is collected through the cells, and that's why it has high PCO2. So it has high PCO2. Now, what exactly happened when this blood actually passes through here? So due to diffusion, this carbon dioxide, let me draw with another color. This carbon dioxide, it passes out. So that is how the CO2 goes in, and this O2 comes in, and now this blood become oxygenated blood. So that is a normal functioning, that how it operates in the body. Let us now try to understand what is the problem in pneumonia. In pneumonia, let's say some infection is there and that infection reaches to the lungs. Okay, let's say COVID. We know that on these cells there are some receptor. If you have studied COVID, or if you are even not aware, let me just tell you how COVID causes pneumonia or any other pathogen. Let us talk about specifically about COVID virus. So COVID virus uses a receptor called ACE2 basically for its entry into a cell. So every cell has its receptor, let's say gate. So we know that like in a room there is a gate, so we can enter in a room through the gate. Similarly, every cell has some receptors. Okay, so basically ACE2 receptors are widely distributed in the body. COVID, that particular virus, use these receptors to come in. So with that receptor, basically, let's say these receptors are present here. Let's say these are ACE2. ACE stands for angiotensin. I'm sure you have studied in class 11th what is angiotensin. Okay, we'll make the videos on excretory system, then at the time I'll talk about it. So it stands for angiotensin converting enzyme. Okay, what exactly happened? Let's say the virus attached here. When virus attached here, so virus damage this cell. So this cell undergoes damage. There are again a detailed pathophysiology. I'm not going into that. Let's keep ourselves to that topic, which is important for our questions in NEET. So of course that is a very high level that I'm discussing now. We need to understand that these cells are got damaged. Okay, let me make some of the damaged cell. Let's see, these cells got damaged. This area actually got damaged. We need to understand. Okay, let's see. This is a damaged area. And how this damage occur? This is a damaged area. How this damage occur? It may be because of fungi, it may be because of bacteria, it may be because of virus, or due to any other. Now, if this happen, definitely the gaseous, definitely what would happen due to that, perforation in that area, and so the water will accumulate here, or water or mucus start to accumulate here. My marker is not working. Let's say mucus or something is accumulate here, a water kind of fluid. Of course, if there's a perforation and then water comes here, let's say water, which is a mucus. Now, in between the alveoli and blood vessel, now there is a mucus and let's say water is there. So, do you think now that with the same ease the gases exchange can take place? So, answer is no. Now, for gases exchange is not that easy now. Secondly, the patient feels something heavy on the chest, and that is because of mucus, and that is because of, let's say, some fluid that is there. So we need to understand that in pneumonia, what exactly the problem is, that the cells of alveoli got damaged, and due to that there is a accumulation of mucus and water that takes place. So that is a major problem, and due to which the patient feel the cough, and the patient has a difficulty in breathing and kind of thing. These are the common symptoms. Okay, let us now talk about the common symptoms after discussing this problem. Now let's talk about what are the symptoms. The symptoms what they include, first of all, of course, fever. Fever is anyways is a very common in every disease. Body ache, headache, body ache, accumulation of fluid around alveoli, accumulation of fluid or mucus around alveoli. That is again a problem, right? Now, because of accumulation of fluid, mucus and around, the patient feel heaviness of chest region, and due to also that the patient feel difficulty in breathing. So there is a difficulty in breathing. Now we have understood that why all these problems are occurring. Sometimes in severe cases, the gaseous exchange is that much affected that the concentration of carbon dioxide increases in the blood, and that much oxygenation do not take place, and that's how the patient start to show the blue color of the lips as well as of the nails. So sometimes in severe cases, bluish appearance of nails and lips. So these are some of the common symptoms that is there, okay, along with the difficulty in breathing. But these are some severe cases that happens. What could be the treatment? Let us talk about here itself. Treatment and persist cough also, coughing, because there's a mucus, so that mucus that causes cough, and that's how the mucus is there, comes out during coughing. Treatment is anyways antibiotics. Treatment is antibiotics, and other drugs are also given. So that is about pneumonia. Hope you understand the pathophysiology. We can't talk about the specific drugs names here in the treatment. That is why I'm just telling you that where antibiotics is required. Okay, so that is some of the pathophysiology of pneumonia, and that is here we have talked about causative agent. Now you understood that what is a problem. So if any pathogen can cause the same problem, it can lead to pneumonia as well. So with that, everyone, this is we have done. Now in the next disease, let us talk about some of the other bacterial diseases such as leprosy, diphtheria, or other diseases. Let us continue.